So imagine this is the scenario. You find yourself in the dark future, and you have wandered into a place outside of the controlled zone. And there you have a pursuer. They're stalking you, following you at first. Then it becomes a flat out run as you try to escape from this dark stranger. You take a left turn at the corner and find that you have run into a dead-end alley. You turn around, the dark stranger approaches. You don't have any weapons on you. The only thing you have are these. What now? I'm going to tell you how you might be able to get out of a situation like this by using unarmed combat. That is what we are going to talk about today in the Dark Conspiracy RPG series that we have been on for quite some time, and we're kind of wrapping it up, but it's going to be a long time before we really wrap this up because we are in combat. There's 8 things you can do. We're going to go over each of those rather quickly and how you can perform each of these 8 things. That's it. Short video today, not going to get real deep into it. So y'all know what's up. Oh, wait until the end of this video. Remember, wait until the end or skip to the end so you can get in on the question of the vid, because I want to hear from you guys in the comments below. All right, that'll be it, y'all. So let's get into this right now. Unarmed combat in Dark Conspiracy. Let's roll that transition. So a strike attack is nothing but a plain old attack. So a fist to the face, a kick to the midsection, an elbow to the side of the head, however you want to do it. But that is a plain old strike attack. Now this is an average difficulty roll. Now if you are not sure what an average difficulty roll is, then you need to go and watch the video where I explain how to do skill checks in Dark Conspiracy. Now if you happen to get an outstanding success, again, something I explained in that same video, then you double the damage. So that is just a plain old strike attack, getting the fisticuffs up and throwing some punches, baby. So let's say you're the one that's going to be on the receiving end of a strike attack. Then you can choose to block that attack. However, if you have not gone during this combat turn, that will take up one of your actions during the combat turn. And if you only have one action, then that's going to be it, unless you fall into a special situation, which I'll talk about in a second. Now, performing a block maneuver is a difficult unarmed combat action. So difficult just means you're going to cut whatever your skill rating is in half. So if we look at Marcus has a 6. So he would do this at a 3, which means he'd have to roll a 3 or less on 1d10. So it is difficult to block something. If you miss that block, you get hit. Now the special situation that I was talking about is if you get an outstanding success on your block, then you do not use up your action for the combat turn. So it's kind of like getting a free action for that particular case. So let's say you want to aim for a particular part on your opponent. So you want to hit him in the eye, or you want to take a heel to the knee or something like that. Then that's what's called an aimed attack. So in order to do that, you are going to make a difficult, so that's the difficulty, a difficult unarmed combat melee attack, okay? Half of whatever your skill level is. If you make it, then you won't roll on the hit location, because normally you roll for hit location, but we're not going to go over that today. We'll do that next week. Instead of rolling for a hit location, you just will hit and choose whatever you wanted to hit in the first place. So if you did want to go to the knee, boom, it goes to the knee. There you go. If you get an outstanding success, then you do double damage, just like a normal strike attack. A diving blow is when you are trying to use your body to knock someone off of their feet. So that could be a charge when you're going straight at somebody, or you're diving down at somebody and trying to hit them and knock them off of their feet, either one. So in that situation, armor is not going to have any effect and you can't block it. There is a way to get out of a diving blow, but we'll talk about that in a second. Grappling is handled a little differently from the other things that you can do in unarmed combat. First thing is that armor has no effect, okay? You don't have a hit location and you don't do any actual damage. So first, it's an average difficulty agility roll. So you don't use your unarmed combat in this, you use your agility. So if we're looking at Marcus here, he has a 7. That's pretty darn good. So if he rolls a 7 or less on 1d10, he's going to get what's called controlled hits. Let me explain that. So every time that you hit with your grapple, you get controlled hits equal to your unarmed combat damage. So let's look at Marcus's. Marcus has 3 unarmed combat damage. So every time that he would hit, he would get controlled hits of, he would have 3 controlled hits, basically. All right, now this is cumulative. So unless his target does not escape, the next time that he tries to do a grapple and he succeeds, he'll get 3 more points with a total of 6 points. Now, why is it cumulative? Because once you get a number of controlled hits that's equal to or exceeds the strength of your target, then they are in a full hold and they can't escape. That's why getting a partial hold is good for the opponent, because then they can try to escape. But if they are in a full hold, not possible, can't escape. So that's how the grapple works. So let's talk about the other thing that you can do in a grapple, which is escape. Okay, so we talked about grappling and how someone in a partial hold can attempt to escape. So in Marcus's case, let's say, for example, he's going against somebody that has a 4 strength. Okay, so there's some street thug or something like that. And he has him in a partial hold because when he gets a controlled hit, he only does 3 points of damage. And so that thug or whoever they are can try to escape out of that. If they escape, then the cumulative controlled hits go away. And you got to start all over again with the grappling. So that is the benefit of escaping when someone has a partial hold on you. Now we're coming to a special situation with grappling per se, which is strangling somebody, and it's kind of dangerous, y'all. So number one, it can be blocked. That's number one. Number two, armor now comes into effect. This is just what they say in the rules. And number three, if somebody is totally controlled, so they're in a full hold, then they will take head wound damage equal to the unarmed combat rating of the person who has the hold every phase. Remember what I was talking about, phases, combat turn? Go and watch that video if you haven't seen it. Head wounds every phase. So it's like putting them in a sleeper hold if you want to just knock them unconscious, and then they'll have to roll to regain consciousness, or you can just kill them by strangling, by actually strangling them. There is that. That's where it can get a little dangerous in this game. And if that wasn't bad enough, if you have a garrote, then it doubles your unarmed combat damage for the head wounds every phase. So in Marcus's case, he wouldn't be doing 3 points of damage. He'd be doing 6 points of damage to the head by strangling somebody. That means this guy knows what he's doing. He's probably going to kill somebody in a very short amount of time. This is the maneuver you perform if you want to get out of the way of a diving blow or a charge. So it's an average difficulty feat. Now, if you succeed at this, then you move out of the way, you take up your action for that turn, there it is, and the attacker is the one that's going to be knocked down, not you, because it's assumed their momentum kind of takes them in that direction and they kind of tumble forward. If you fail, you get hit. If you get an outstanding success, then you don't take up your action, and so you can do something else later on. And if it is a catastrophic failure on your part, well, then you're going to take double damage and you're going to get knocked down on top of that. Isn't that something? So don't roll a catastrophic failure when trying to avoid a blow. So those are the 8 things that you can do in unarmed combat in Dark Conspiracy. Pretty straightforward, pretty simple, but that's going to change in a couple of weeks as we move further into combat, because y'all, I ain't gonna lie, it's about to get crunchy up in here. Hey, if you like what you saw today, learned something new maybe, then could you do a brother a solid? Just a little favor, just a little bit. Could you crush that like button? Also, if you want to stick around, I come out with videos every Tuesday and Friday, God willing. That's up to him. So hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. All right, y'all, let's get to the question of the vid. We're talking about unarmed combat today. So I'm curious, what kind of unarmed combat do you personally enjoy? Maybe it's something that you already do. Maybe you're trained in something. You've been doing karate for I don't know how long. Okay, well, let us know in the comments. Or maybe it's something that you've been thinking about doing, or just something that you think just looks cool. What kind of unarmed combat style would you like to get into if you could? Let's get some engagement going down in the comments below right now. And that's going to do it for me, folks. It's time for me to skedaddle and slide on out of here and do my snaggle puss.
So exit, stage left.
If you got a game this weekend, y'all, happy gaming, and I pray it is an RPG Elite session that's more immersive, enjoyable, and meaningful. So until next time, once again, God willing, it's me, y'all. It's your boy Servant saying peace, 5,000 leets. That's right. That means I am gone.